Common ground. Who are we? We are an inclusive spiritual community honoring all paths to God, where people bring their very souls, where people grow one another by sharing what they know, where people learn spiritual practices to support them in working with the complex possibilities of today's world. The vision statement. What do we do? When I first came here, I saw these words behind me on this wall, and with, not wanting to seem really obvious, I'd be like, what does that mean? And part of our vision statement, actually, if you break it down, it tells us our mission is to embrace humanity and to express divinity. But how do you do that? Well, our vision is to be an open, heart-centered community where people come together to grow in spiritual awareness, body, mind, and spirit. Embracing humanity is to be the hands and feet of God as love expressing itself in the world, expressing divinity. Our belief statement is that there is one power and one presence in the universe. That one power and one presence is known by many names and is sought through many paths. God is all, and all is God. All creation is born into original blessing, pure, innocent, and whole. All creation is divine. Everything is a part of the whole of creation. All human experience is a spiritual journey. The purpose of human experience is to realize oneness with God. The perceptions that we hold determine our experiences in the moment, and all action and thought are prayer. Prayer is conscious contact with God. A quiet mind supports prayer, meditation, and mindfulness. There is abundance in the universe to which everyone is equally entitled. We demonstrate our oneness and union with God by active practice and spiritual truth in our everyday lives.
I want to share with you a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. It's his birthday tomorrow. We're celebrating. And this really sums up, I think, what Common Ground's about. He said, people fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they haven't communicated with each other. It's really very simple, isn't it, when you break it down? Fear, which is really that hate and that anger that goes on in this world. It's all fear because we don't know each other. And to me, that's probably the greatest gift that Common Ground brings. And that is, we come here together to be who we are, without judgment, without saying, I'm better than you, just because I'm different. My beliefs are right, they're different from yours, and you're wrong. That has never, to my knowledge, happened at this place. And I love that. And I think the main reason that happens is because we're all here to learn, to understand, to get an idea of how other people feel, of how other people believe, of how they see the world. One of the great gifts that we have here has been Devika, bringing Hinduism to us, bringing Diwali to us, and giving us that information. Do we have to every morning wake up and bow to Shiva? No. We certainly have learned what it's about, though. And that is probably my favorite thing about Common Ground, is every single one of you brings something new and different. It's like we didn't know that piece of the puzzle was missing until you showed up. Does that make sense? And everyone belongs because we are one single humanity. And here at Common Ground is where we honor that oneness, because we know that it's the absolute truth. I think what the other thing that's kind of interesting, Michael and I were talking the other day, and what I said to him was, when I first started Common Ground here in Corona, it was a little bit selfish. And it was selfish in the fact that I needed to find other people of like mind. I needed to have that support. I needed to have someone say, "You're not crazy." Because, we've all heard that, have we? And so, once Common Ground got started and we started attracting different people, I realized, oh my gosh, all these other people need that same support. And what a beautiful gift this has become, not just for me personally, but for us collectively. And for that, I am very, very grateful. Okay. Drum roll. Oh, jeez. This one's big. Come on, you guys. Where are we from? Why are we here? Where will we go? Well, listen. You know that game that starts at 3 o'clock? We aren't going to make it. That's a really big question, isn't it? A really big question. Well, where are we from? I think I have my personal belief, and that's what I'm going to share with you, because here at Common Ground, no one's going to tell you what to believe, what to think, and how to do it, right? We all have our own opinions. My belief is that we all come from the same thing. I heard it described one time as soup, essence, right? Energy, soup. And we all come from that same place with all of that information available to all of us, right? Because it's all right there in there. And I believe we all go back to that same place. We come from and return to that same source, that source of life. Do we come again and again? I don't know. That's for you to decide. I don't honestly have a belief in that one way or the other. Sometimes I don't think there's a possibility that we've only been here once. And sometimes I think, oh my gosh, really? Why would I want to come back? Because I don't think we really leave. Our energy is still here, right? Have any of you ever felt the energy, the essence of a loved one who has gone on to their next expression? Of course we have. So, do we ever leave? I don't think so. I think we're just experience maybe a different dimension, if that makes sense. And how that works with reincarnation, I'm not sure. And the truth is this, do we need to know? How important is it to living our life? Because all we have is right here and right now, today. Not one of us is guaranteed to be here tomorrow, so we may as well love with all of our heart today. Why are we here? I don't know. To love? To learn? I don't know. Anyone have any quick thoughts on why are we here?
To hear.
Say again?
To be here.
To be here.
To grow.
To grow. Absolutely to grow. To grow and to expand. To share that love of life. That love of the universe.
And to be the expression of divinity, as was said earlier.
Absolutely. To be the hands and feet of God expressing His love. I absolutely believe that. And what happens? Then you tell a friend, and then they tell two friends, and so on and so on. This world can absolutely change. And we are called to be part of that change. No question in my mind. Well, here's a very practical question. What are the plans for a larger facility? Thank you, and that is a very practical question. As most of you know, I am constantly looking and on alert, as is your advisory team. We are constantly looking for an available space. We have tentatively found something up in the Norco area. It's tentative, and it could happen in the next, I'd say, 5 to 8 months, if it's going to happen. So we're always looking. Here's the thing. We're in a space now which is beautiful and we all love. Agreed? Yeah. However, we can't move very well, especially the last several weeks. We've been so crowded that it's hard to get in and out. And so we are really needing to move. And I want to move, and I'll tell you why. We can't grow here. The walls are only so big. We've already asked a year or two ago, didn't we, if we could take the wall down. They're like, I know it's historical, but the inside you'll never know. So we can't grow here, and we can't share who we are and what we teach if we stay in a small place. And so what we're looking for is something that will accommodate twice as many people. And and this is what I know. When we do that, we're going to fill that up just as quickly. What a great problem, right? To me, that's very exciting. Now, the other part of that is we have to really come together as a community to be able to afford to make that move. And that's something that we're looking at, or we will be looking at. We'll have to do some kind of a big fundraiser, of course, because most of you know I don't take a salary. And so it's not like I'm bleeding our big pot, okay? However, to be able to sustain a larger facility is going to take more funds, right? I mean, it's just a practical thing. So that's something that we're going to have to look at as well. So we do have plans. Universe just hasn't summed them up for us quite yet. Oh, can we have more prosperity lectures? Yes. Is that something that people are interested in, is on prosperity, on abundance? I think that's wonderful. Is there anything in particular or specific that, I don't know who asked the question, so I don't know, but is there anything specific that you're talking about? Or any thoughts on specifics?
That wasn't my question, but it might be perception of prosperity.
Perception of prosperity. Ooh, that's good, because prosperity isn't always money.
That's right.
And I think that's one of the things that we make a big mistake about, is we think prosperity is money. And the truth is, prosperity is having everyone in this room be a support system. That's prosperous. Having a home to go home to, that's prosperity, right? And a meal, and friends, and family, and loved ones, that's prosperity. So thank you, that's a very good point, David. Oh, here's another really small question. What's the meaning of life? I say we'll be here until Super Bowl Sunday. Thoughts? Who's got a thought on that? What's the meaning of life?
Live fully every day.
Live fully every day. I love that. That's hard to do, isn't it?
What does live fully mean?
Just not worry about little things and enjoy what you have. Make the best of it.
Expect the best.
How about look for the good in people?
Yes. And that's not always easy to do either, is it? When people are unkind, it's really hard to see the God in them, to embrace their humanity. Yeah. Anybody else on that? The meaning of life.
Or eat, pray, and love. I always like that.
Sums it up, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, eat should be first here at Common Ground. And pray and love. You're right. That really does sum it up beautifully. Thank you.
I think from what Bill said, looking for the similarities in people instead of the differences.
Yes.
Because even if the situation isn't the same and you can't relate with that, you can always relate with the emotions.
Yes. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Thank you. Did everybody hear that? Yeah. Because we are much more alike than we are different. Much more alike. And what a beautiful experience to come together and to recognize and see that. So, any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
What is the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Quran?
What are they?
Yeah.
They're beautiful stories of life. You will find that periodically I will reference the Bible, and I've even referenced the Quran. I have referenced Bodhisattva, different books. In my personal opinion, they're all leading to the same thing. They're called different names, and they're all stories about how to live a good life, how to eat, pray, and love. And that's what they're all about. Yes, they give you different rules of how to get there. And apparently this is a group of people who don't need to follow rules. I appreciate that personally. Because the last thing I've ever wanted in my life was to have someone tell me, okay, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to think. This is where you have to go. These are the rituals that you have to perform. And then you'll be okay. My feeling's always been, if we live a good, clean life and we do the right thing, and it comes from our heart, it's all about intention, then we have completed what it is we're here to do. And that's to love. So I think they're all very valuable, and I think they touch different people in different ways. Well, I have a question for you. And that question is this. What are you seeking from spiritual community? What is it you want from this community? Got really quiet.
Good thinking.
Acceptance.
Acceptance is, I think, at the top of the list, isn't it? Anything else?
Friends.
True, in that true sense of the word, that oneness, that recognition of oneness. May I quit?
The energy that I feel when I'm here. I just know my soul resonates with it, so I knew it was right. And that's what I seek here and continue to come here for, is what I feel when I'm here. Because I agree, I think regardless of circumstances, feelings are the same amongst humans.
Right. Absolutely. Elizabeth?
I think what I've already found here, which is absolutely a sense of community and like-minded people. Those who've gotten to know me a little bit, I always get emotional when I come here. And I think it's because every time I come, I am not only reminded, but I actually feel that spark of being connected to something larger. Not just the people in this room, but really something larger, that presence, that essence of that I believe that we are all connected to, and I do believe they're all just different roads up the same mountain, and I've absolutely found that here. So it's, for me, there's just, as I said, a lovely energy and sense of community, and really that is what I'm looking for, and constant.
You said something that was really important, Elizabeth, and that is the feeling. It's not the words, it's not what people say, and Meg said it too, it's when you walk in and how you feel, and you just know you belong there, here, not there. You just know that you're a part of. Anything else? Any other? Yeah.
One thing I found here is true equality.
Ah.
And, you mentioned Martin Luther King. I'm not just talking racial equality, I mean true equality. There's nobody who's greater than the other person who puts their culture, their race up. And that's been one of the most beautiful things I have found here. Everybody is equal. No ifs, ands, or buts. I've never seen an argument. I've been to places, like in churches,
Sure.
law enforcement, yada, yada. There's never been an issue whatsoever on, I'm not saying I've even looked for it, it just hasn't been there. And that's the dream that, we had and
That's
that we're
exactly
living.
right. And we're living it. We get to live it. And here's the thing, and I guess this is a reminder, not just on Sunday. We don't do it just on Sunday. This isn't a Sunday thing. Spirituality is really a way of life. It's a way of seeing the world. And I think that's a really important thing to remember. Do we forget sometimes? Heck yeah, I do. I don't know about you, but I forget sometimes. It's not always rosy. And then we have to come back to center. When it's time. Okay, well, I want to close with this really awesome quote I read. And I think this really pertains to us here. If you have inner peace, nobody can force you to be a slave to the outer reality. Because we all have our own reality deep within us, don't we? And ain't no one gonna tell us anything different. So, thank you. I appreciate you guys all being here this morning and your input and even your really big questions. And if there's anything else, jot a note. Don't talk to me on Sunday, but you can email me or jot a note. And if, like I said, if you have ideas about things that you want to hear about over the next several months, please let me know that too, because it really does help Gina and I kind of put things together for Sunday morning. So, thank you. That's it.